Hey you guys, I thought I'd make a little quick video. I'm so excited. I got my little beautiful, she's a flamingo lipstick cow het boa constrictor or boa imperator. I don't know if she is a BCC or a BCI. I'm not an expert with the details about the hybrids or the details about the boa constrictor or boa imperator. I thought I'd make a little video and share my little cutie pie. This is Athena. She is a baby snake. In the last video, you guys saw her hissing like crazy. I accidentally woke her up from her nap, but she also hisses from time to time because she is a little baby snake, and all baby snakes, whether it's a baby corn snake, baby ball python, all right, baby boas, baby snakes are just naturally very defensive because we're scary giants. We're large predators to them. They have no idea that we're here to love them, to care for them. But to them, they don't know if we're going to hurt them, kill them, eat them, or do them any harm. So if any of you ever get any reptile pets, especially a baby snake or a baby or a snake that just isn't familiar with your scents, they don't know you, they're going to be very defensive. I love boa constrictors because I just love everything about them. I love their boxy heads. I love their amazing patterns on their scales. I also like how they could get to not exactly a massive size, but they get to a nice hefty size, but they won't ever be as long or as wide as the larger constrictors of such as a Burmese python, rock python, anacondas, reticulated pythons. They won't, boa constrictors won't get to that size, but they can get pretty big depending on how often you feed them, what type they are, and then also if you get a male or female. Males still can get to a hefty size, but females, they're always larger than males. Females, I think they could range anywhere from, I think, 8 or 12 feet. In one of my videos, when I made a video of my friend's boa prana, I'm guessing she's about 7 feet, 6 or 7 feet, one of the two. I don't know because we never measured her. But in that video, though, that was taken last summer, my friend was out of town, and I'm one of the very few people she knows who loves snakes. So she asked me to look after her snake while she was out of town. At that time, during that video, Prana was in the process of shedding, and it was summertime, and my friend asked me, hey, can you take Prana out of her tank? Can you fill up the pool, fill up the kiddie pool, get in there and just soak with her? So I told her, yeah, sure. So I took Prana out of her enclosure. I filled up the kiddie pool with warm water, and I tried to get Prana in there with me. But the thing is, Prana kept ditching me. She kept slithering out of the pool because she was excited to be out. It was summertime. She knew she was outside in the yard. So she just wanted to slither and just explore. But yeah, I love snakes. When I lived in Texas, I had 3 snakes. I had a ball python I had for 6 years, going on 7 years. And then I also had 2 boas. One young one that was probably about 3 or 4 years old. So my boa Hercules was larger than Athena right here. And then my other boa, Theseus, he was about 4 or 5 feet long. So he was, I think, a semi-adult. But unfortunately, though, I had three roommates in a row skip out on rents, and they ditched me. I ended up getting evicted for the first time in my life. And I was so upset I had to rehome all of my animals. And with my reptiles, I had to give them back to the reptile store where I got them from. So that was very devastating for me because I was planning to have my snakes for the rest of my life. And when you have a snake, you know, they could live a long time. Their lifespan could be anywhere to 30 to 20. I think the oldest captive snake was a ball python that lived up to 48 years. So yeah, when you guys get a snake, keep in mind that they live a long time. All right. And when you guys get a snake, make sure you guys know what kind of snake you're getting. Whether you're getting a boa, a Burmese python, reticulated python. It's so crazy. I've seen very few people sell anacondas, and a lot of people had no idea they had a green anaconda, baby green anaconda. So definitely know what kind of snake you have, because depending on the type, you guys could be buying a massive snake. So, but I like the boas because they get to a hefty size, but they will never be as big as a reticulated python, a Burmese python, or an anaconda or a rock python. But even when you get a boa, when they get to their large hefty size, depending on your boa's temperament, it's always safe to have at least one person with you handling your snake. And another thing, if you guys do get a snake, keep in mind of your schedule. So if you guys don't have much time for handling your snake very much, I would recommend probably get a ball python or a corn snake or a little gardener snake. Because with ball pythons, you could handle your ball python, and then if you're busy for a couple months or 6 months and you end up handling your snake, all right, they're fine. They won't hiss, they won't bite, from my experience. But with boas, you cannot do that. Boas, you need to always make sure they're familiar with you, they know you, they're not afraid of you, because if you don't handle your boa often enough, all right, and they forget who you are, they they don't recognize you anymore, they'll be afraid of you. And then once a snake is afraid, they're going to be very defensive. So, and boas can get to a large size, so you don't want a large predator to be afraid of you. And I'm not a snake expert, but I've helped my friends take care of their snakes for years. I've taken care of my own, so I know enough on taking care of serpents. Except large constrictors, I will not take care of a Burmese python, reticulated python, and also no green anacondas. I don't want to chance my safety to take care of somebody else's dangerous serpent. But yes, I just wanted to make a quick video of my sweetie pie. I named her Athena because, you know, when I first got her from the reptile breeder she gently pulled the rack, because she had all her snakes in a racking systems, except for the larger boas, of course. But she had the babies in a rack system. And when she carefully and gently pulled the rack out. Little Athena here she was hissing, and she struck so hard I thought she was gonna fly out of the rack to attack both of us. It was insane. Um, she has other siblings. I met her brother. Her brother was in the same rack she was in. But yeah, I thought, dang, this snake can fly. She is feisty. And yep, every time I went to go make a payment on her, she had the same reaction. She's just naturally defensive, but I also came to the conclusion that she's a little fierce diva. So I decided to name her Athena, goddess of war. I'm just so in love with her. Even though she is feisty, once I take her out, she's completely fine. She's very curious about everything. She likes to explore. And then I just cannot believe how amazingly vibrant her tail is. Just that gorgeous orange. She has what our reptile breeders called a kink in her tail. She was born with a kink. Yeah, I'm not going to film outside because it's still a little too cold and she's a little baby snake and I just want to make sure that she stays warm because I don't want to chance her getting upper respiratory infection. So, and that's another thing. When you guys handle your snakes, make sure you're in a warm place so your snakes don't develop upper respiratory. Oh, and in case you guys don't know what that is, an upper respiratory is where a snake gets cold because their bodies are ectothermic. They don't develop or maintain heat like our bodies do. So bacteria forms in their lungs and then they develop fluid in their lungs. So it's a snake's version of the cold. But if it's very severe, it's a snake's version of pneumonia. And no way I want to chance any of my snakes to get sick. But yeah, sometime once it's summertime and once it's warm outside, I'll definitely make more videos of this cutie pie right here. Oh, I'm just so excited I got her. I always wanted a flamingo lipstick albino morph because I love the colors and then also just they are amazing morphs. And then hopefully with time, she's going to learn and see that I'm not here to hurt her. She'll get used to me. But in the meantime, I will put up with her hissing and a couple strikes. She hasn't bit me yet, but I'm not worried about it because I've been bit by a lot of animals. I've been bit by my own snakes when I lived in Texas. I've been bit by my 5-foot boa constrictor, but it was because something spooked him and I didn't see he was scared, and so he just gave me a quick snap and bite. And then my ball python, she bit the shit out of me due to a feeding response. Because with my ball python Celine that I had, as soon as I feed her, anything she sees, she's just in predator mode. She thinks everything's food. Because some reptiles are so crazed by their feeding response, they can't see straight. Just any object they see, they think is food because their brain is thinking about feeding. And then with Hercules, he tried to bite me plenty of times, but he was a very defensive snake like her. But he was a lot more defensive. But surprisingly, out of all my snakes, he was the one that never bit me. And then her, I'm pretty sure that she will sometime, but if she ever does, it would probably be from a feeding response or because she's scared and I did something stupid to spook her. Or also, she could also bite me if I accidentally wake her up from her nap. It's so hard to tell when they're napping because snakes are the only creatures that sleep with their eyes open. But I think she was because she wasn't moving at all, or her breathing was very, very calm. So I think she was sleeping. All right, you guys. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching my cute snake. I'll definitely make some videos and updates as she grows. If any of you guys do have any pets or any reptiles of your own, feel free to share and write something in the comment box. I'm curious of some of you, my subscribers. I'm curious if you guys have any pets. What kind of pets do you have? Feel free to share any stories, all right? And especially for those of you, if you have any snakes too, definitely let me know what kind you have. I love all snakes. And I love hearing stories about people who have them too and how they handle and care for their snakes. All right, you guys. So I'm going to do a tarot reading in a bit. So I will see you later. Bye. Oh, and one more thing. In case if you guys are wondering, I only handle my snake. I only handle her maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I don't want to handle her too much, and I want to make sure I'm not handling her too less, because I want to make sure that she learns and she sees that I'm not here to hurt her. And I'm hoping with time she will get to a point where I could take her out of her tank without her being scared or without her being defensive. But I also don't want to handle her too much because I don't want to stress her out. Everybody has a different opinion of how much one can handle their reptile, but that depends on so many factors, I think. But just to be safe, I usually handle my reptiles at least 2 or 3 times a week at the very most. Okay, see you later. Bye.